You too. Yep. She said she'll put it in order for me. Put it up.
Okay, it's kind of hard. I mean, the trimming is not hard, it's just kind of hard to show how to do it on something that's already done because you can't see. Because our edges, as you can imagine, we're going to have these little things that stick out, right? And what you're going to do, you're going to trim these off so it goes straight. The trick, or what you really want to make sure you do, is that you leave, for instance, when this comes together right here, okay, say this is already sewn together, you want to come out 1/4 of an inch from that point. And that's where you're going to place your ruler. Okay? On all of these. The other side's going to be a little different, but on this and then...
I'm sorry, Julie, can you say that one more?
Yeah, sure. So see where here we have a seam coming together at a point. Let's assume that's already sewn. When you place your ruler like this, you're going to make sure it overlaps. This little pink line is your 1/4 inch line. You're going to put that 1/4 inch line right where that point is. Okay. So when you cut it off, you've got 1/4 of an inch left on that side where your binding will go. Okay.
So the point there where it looks like it right up a little from there, ignore that right
Ignore
there.
this. This is all going to be cut off.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be, sorry, Sherry. It's going to be like this, and then you come down here, and it's going to be 1/4 inch off of here as you go down.
But if it's 1/4 inch off, how do you have
This much.
this much?
Okay, so we're looking at these plain
left-hand side.
diamonds.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Not
these
the
right
ones,
here.
not the
Yeah, right
diamonds
there.
that
Yeah.
have a pattern.
Right, not the you want to avoid. Now I'll show you what I did, and this was a mess up on this one. Okay, I trimmed this one too much.
So
I
you
did
trimmed
trim
that
this.
one on the
Yeah.
on the
I
pattern
see
diamond.
this one a lot better, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, yeah.
Oh, I see what you.
So you're gonna, so don't look at that one. So yeah, so you'll pay attention only to these plain diamonds that are out to the side for where you're gonna line it up.
So like on mine, I would do it based on my this diamond.
Right. So you're gonna avoid getting over
Avoid
there.
that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And in fact, you should be avoiding all your star diamonds and your fabric diamonds should not be next to it like mine were.
Okay.
Okay, so you should always have a space there. That helps you have some wiggle room because it's likely, I'll just tell you right now, when you line this up with, if you have like 3 long rulers, it's the best way to do it because you want it square, right? And so just take 3 long rulers, line them up. When you've got your diamonds out here, make sure you're at the 1/4 inch marks, and then look down here. You want this to be square. So it won't be at first because you're going to have this needs to be trimmed. But once you could even mark it like this is pretty darn square. You'll trim that off, and then when you come to this end and line it up, you're also going to have some stuff going on down here. See where this sashing comes into this sashing? There's going to be a little point there. You're going to have 1/4 inch from that point. But what you definitely want to do is take some line on the ruler and make sure it's following along what you just cut. That's how you make it square. Okay? So you do that. You can also, if you want it to be really exact, for instance, you could start at the ends. See these points of these diamonds? you could, you know, once you get, so you have a 1/4 inch down here, you could line them up to make sure this diamond is on this point. See how that's pretty even? So it'll look good, right? It'll be straight across this way. And then you'll just go on to the other side. Now that this side's cut, make sure this lines up exactly on a ruler line. You don't have to come down on that other way, but this one is a little trickier because we have, our sashing comes a little bit, you know, when we have this point here, you should have a 1/4 inch coming out this way, but barely. And some of you may not, just, you know, the way the ball bounces. But the same thing, you're gonna come here and line it up, and that's how you're gonna trim it. But I do recommend that you try, hopefully you'll have enough rulers where you can line them up, so you can hit every point on the 1/4 inch line and then trim it. Again, if you come to the bottom and it's not square, you just kind of have to finagle it, right? You can make this square and then go back down and recut in some places. Don't cut off too much on the edges though, because that'll take away your little area to sew your binding on.
So what do you mean recut in some areas?
Well, what I do, like if I'm squaring up a quilt, so I'll go around and I'll cut all 4 sizes and sides, and then I'll come back and just verify if it's square or not.
Oh, okay.
And if I find it's not,
And then trim
then
it
I'll be like,
some more.
oh, that needs to be trimmed off just a little bit to kind of, yeah.
Julie, this is after you've stitched the backing and the batting, right? Or are you squaring it up before you do
I
it?
squared up before.
Okay.
I mean, well, here's why you want this trim, because you don't want to quilt the parts.
Also fair, right. This is a little different than a regular quilt, because we don't square those up until after we
Right,
attach the...
Right.
Got it,
Because
okay.
usually we have a border.
Right.
You don't want to trim off that border until you have
Right,
a quilt.
right,
But
okay.
This, we know
Because-
we have to make it the right size.
Yes, okay, got it.
Any questions?
Show me, because I couldn't get a camera in there. Where
sure.
exactly are you looking at that 1/4 inch?
Okay, it's going to be, this probably isn't a good example because it's not lined up exactly right. It's going to be, well, let's use, sorry. Well, let's line this up.
I'm putting that as a slant against mine, Julie.
Okay. Well, yours wasn't, you don't have the ends on it that I was hoping to have. Okay. So if we line this one up the way it's supposed to go. Okay, here we go.
Christine, are you gonna send
Okay.
that video to her too?
Yeah, this one's 8
Imagine-
minutes though. I don't know how it's gonna
So
go,
you're going
right?
to
But yes.
take your, I'm so sorry.
You're
gotta
good.
find
You're
the
good.
right spot. I think here's the right spot down here. Sorry. Yeah, here's the better spot here. So you're not going to go here, right? This isn't your reference point is going to be out from the edge of that. And you're going to take your 1/4 inch mark and put it right where those have come together.
Okay.
So imagine these are already sewn in place, and you've got a little bit of overhang here. You're going to put your 1/4 inch mark right on that point,
Okay.
all the way up. It's going to go there, and you're going to have one up here.
So you want the point plus a 1/4 inch.
Yeah, the point plus a 1/4 inch, and then you'll trim it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.